Hey fellow enthusiasts, this is Tommy Lanham.
Oh, and I'm Dylan.
And we are on a mission to break the monotony of the mundane and the mediocre by bringing as much enthusiasm to as many businesses, ministries, marriages, families, and individual lives as we possibly can.
Here we go.
Hey guys, recently I was able to be a contributor to a project that Matt Woodrum is doing. He runs Wrestling with Fatherhood, and he's doing a book on fatherhood, and I got to contribute to that. And the thing that I wrote about is the time that I spend with my family. We call it the 40-hour family time because we set aside before the month begins 40 hours within that month that we're going to spend with different members of the family. Some of it we spend all four of us together. Others of it we spend with individual members of a family. And I've got with me here today my son Dylan. And we just want to talk to you a little bit about the father-son time that we have every month. Now this isn't the only time we spend time together, but it is intentional time that we schedule before the month begins. We schedule a 5-hour block of time that we spend with each other, just me and him, and at the same time my wife and my daughter are spending time together as well. And we just get together and we just do oftentimes just kind of random things that we like to do. Matter of fact, just last week we drove down to Williamsburg, Kentucky, and we played in a creek, and we had stick races. See, it doesn't have to cost money, folks. Who won that, by the way? I won! I
won one of them.
I won like 5 of them. And also there was a tire swing that swung out over the creek, and I put Dylan in there and pushed him out over the creek and hoped it didn't break in the process. But that's just an example of one of the things that we do when we get together and we just spend time together. Hey, listen, sometimes we play video games together. Sometimes we might watch TV or a movie together, or we might play basketball or wiffle ball together, or he might decide to go skateboarding and I watch him. We don't do that together because we don't want any ER trips during our family time. The key word there is together. Whatever it is we do, we go and we do it together. Dylan, what's some of your favorite, or at least one of your favorite father-son times that we've had recently?
When I race you around the church.
When you race me around the church?
Yeah, thanks.
We had a race around the church. Who won that one? I won that one, just like the stick races. I don't believe in cheap victories. A cheap victory is quite a loss. So if they're going to beat me, they're going to beat me fair and square. Matter of fact, with my daughter, her first 5 years of life, I kept track of all the things I beat her in. I eventually lost count because I'm not good with numbers. But
Really?
Really?
Yeah, but my favorite is when we went and set up that Corvette.
Oh yeah, one time we went, he just wanted to go and look at cars. My son has an expensive taste for cars. We're not going to buy any of those. But we did just go and look, and we went to one place and there was this Corvette. How much was that Corvette? Was it $99,000?
I think.
I think it was $99,000. It was expensive. And the guy that worked there says, "You want to get in it?" And Dylan's eyes just kind of lit up. And he got to get in that Corvette. The owner started it up, revved the engine, and man, Dylan just loved it. Listen, none of this costs money. Now sometimes we'll spend a little money. We might go to a frozen yogurt place to get us some frozen yogurt, or we might eat lunch or dinner somewhere. We might see a movie sometimes, but we really don't spend a lot of money on this time together. It's just a matter of being together. Does it cost anything to race bikes around a church building? Does it cost anything to race sticks you pick up off the ground in a creek? And does it cost anything to just go and look at cars? It makes memories. So my encouragement to you, especially if your kids are still at home, take that time to invest in their lives. Not just taking them to ball games, and that's good too. We need to do stuff like that. But just some time just to spend with one another. Listen, there's times you need to spend with all of your kids at once, but there's also times you need to spend with each kid individually. And depending on how many kids you have, you could divide that up. The way it works with us, we've got 2 kids, so we're able to do those 5-hour blocks with each kid each month. Look for opportunities to be able to spend time with your kids. I've got a friend that lives up in Lexington, Kentucky. His name is Jimmy McKinney, and he goes out on date nights with his daughters. And it's just a time to be able to connect and continue to grow your relationship, because it's so easy to lose that. And what we don't want to do is on the day of their high school graduation, look back and go, wow, I wish I would have spent more time with them. I don't want you to have to say that. I don't want to have to say that. I want to be intentional about spending time with my kids. And I encourage you to do the same. Maybe 5 hours a month may work well for you. You might be able to do 10 hours a month. I don't know. Or maybe you've got a lot more kids than I've got, and maybe 2 hours a month. I don't know. You make that decision for yourself. But it's not going to happen by accident. We have to be intentional. So my encouragement to you is to be intentional about the time you spend with your kids. Matter of fact, some of the time that I spend with my son, we're not racing. We're not wading in creeks. We're wrestling.
And I win every time.
So remember to spend time with your kids, because it will ultimately feed your enthusiasm. Oh, gotcha.